Greetings everyone, and I'm testing Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, a remake. Now checking out the settings really quick, you can see that I used 4K resolution, I enabled depth of field, and in the advanced video settings, everything is at ultra, and I used Nvidia DLSS at quality preset. There is an option to enable TAA or no anti-aliasing at all. But without it, it looks very weird, and I do not recommend using that. Now, after testing the game with depth of field enabled, I think for normal gameplay I would disable that, because the effect was used very intensively in a lot of areas, and I think it's just way too intense. And the performance impact is very minimal. I tested with it enabled and disabled, and without it, it performed roughly about 4% better. I actually finished the original game a couple weeks or maybe a month ago, and I really liked it, but because it had issues with unlocked frame rate, I decided to not test it on my channel. Now very recently, I think a couple days ago, this remake launched, and it has unlocked frame rate and better graphics, so I decided to test it. The original used Unreal Engine 3, and this one actually used the 5th version. And the game was released in 2013, I think. So a lot has changed, and as you can see, the CPU utilization is very interesting. All my CPU threads are utilized at some degree, and it's actually very good news, because recently there have been a lot of games with Unreal Engine 5, and most of them barely utilize 12 CPU threads despite being on brand new game engine. And seeing this kind of utilization is reassuring a little bit. So maybe in the future we'll see much better CPU utilizations on future Unreal Engine 5 based games. Now, as you can see, even with DLSS at quality, I'm dropping way below 60 FPS, but in this type of game it's really not a big deal. I could bump the DLSS to performance or balanced to increase the FPS a bit, but overall I think I would be fine playing as is, on DLSS quality preset. Now this game is about two brothers, of course, obviously, but the story goes something like this. Their father is sick and they need to find the medicine, and one of the doctors told where can they get that. And so the journey begins. In the original you could play only with a controller, as far as I know, but I think in this one you can play with keyboard as well, although I'm not entirely sure how it would feel. But with the controller you control one brother with each stick, so it can get a little bit confusing at times. But overall, for short gameplay for this one, I think it was a good idea and interesting one, which also ties with the story interestingly enough. But for that I think you'll need to play the game. I can tell you, but I won't, because I think it's worth a play and I can recommend trying it out. Also a bit unfortunate, but cutscenes are limited to 30 FPS, which is kinda silly because in 2024 I expect at least 60 FPS limit in cutscenes, and they are in-game, not pre-rendered as far as I know. So it's a bit silly, but what can you do? So overall it seems like it's pretty good remake. So far it seems that the experience was quite smooth, no stutters, and the visuals looks great actually. So I could recommend trying it out for sure, and I think I'll leave you to the gameplay As always, thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye for now.
Hello. Anna, hvordan har de?